Hello YouTube, it is Lytbringr. Yeah, we can do that. Why? This is the review portion of the Underground. So far, it looks a lot like Dark Zone. So for those PvE-centric, non-troll players like myself that enjoyed doing the Dark Zone for the increased challenge of some of the bad guys, Underground is the answer for us. So far the XP is pretty solid. I've leveled up once every single run now. Also, there is a decent chance of greens. Most every yellow I've gotten is 204 and above. I've already gotten one or two pieces of 268 gear, which I believe is the new cap for armor.
Says we know where to find some of the rioters' heavy hitters. Let's try heading back.
For those of you who haven't played it yet, this is a pistol. Like, just the first weapon I got, a 204, 12,000 damage a bullet with a pistol. That's kind of excessively ridiculous. Also, I finally got one of these. It's the new assault rifle, a G36. I have no stability buffs on this gun, but you guys will understand here in a sec why I no longer miss my AUG. I mean, it's a good gun. The AUG's power did get nerfed, but the nerf didn't really seem to... The nerf still makes it the second or third most OP SMG, so... But I'm not really a big critical hit build. But you notice the stability on this gun is ridiculous. I've got all my AUG's buffs and equipment on there, but as you notice, it's a lot like so far easy mode, or back before 1.2 in the Dark Zone. The gear is pretty solid, pretty good, except you don't have to worry about extractions or, like, you know, total jerks like jacking your stuff. This is the normal, which is really freaking easy. The hard, I did a few hards on my own. All it is a bunch of 32s that are purple. So if you've done zones 1 through 4 in the Dark Zone in like the last 2 or 3 months, you're good. That's where you're at. Hard is Dark Zone, zones 1 and 2, and you can do those solo without too much effort. Challenging is challenging. Everybody's level 34, so it's a lot like DZ 5 and 6 in the Dark Zone. You will need a team that can actually, like, you don't need like a super high level of communication, but it is definitely helpful. Most everybody I've played with, even you see me using using the Fog of War. It adds, I think, 10% to your final XP gain, so I assume all of them combined will give you like an extra 50%. So if you go on challenging, which is worth 1,000 XP, you can get 1,500 in one go. Or no, 100. Yeah, 50%. I mean, I think that number's off because I've done Fog of War with just Fog of War on challenging, and we've gotten up to like 1,300 XP in one go. So I don't know how their numbers work. And again, Massive's big on not really making a point to tell us. But yeah, the new guns look really solid. I miss the crit. I miss the crit chance, because right now I think definitely destroy those if you see them. because those make it so you can't use your skills. I do have the new marksman rifle, the SVD. It's actually a pretty solid gun. It fires almost as fast as the M1A. You know, I love my M1A. Rounds per minute on the M1A were 300. This one's at 260, but it packs a little more of a punch. I'm good giving up 1 or 2 sniper rounds or being able to use it like an auto shotty point blank if A, it looks good, and B, I'm getting a good 30,000 damage per second. So, yeah. The level structure. I've done this about 8-9 times now, gotten 5 greens at it, so now you notice, like, the chances for greens are actually pretty solid. The problem is, I've gotten like, every piece I've gotten is from the new set, so it's a lot like from patch 1.2, where if you did the high value targets, all you got was stinking Lone Star crap left and right. Which, yeah, a lot of people like to cheese Lone Star, go for 2 pieces, go to a box, get some ammo, and get double the normal ammo. Switch back out the Lone Star pieces, still keep the ammo because the game is nice to you that way. Now, I'm not a big fan of Lone Star, like the set as a whole, crap. The set as a whole kinda sucks, no offense, but like the new sets kinda suck too. I mean, true, if you're going on challenging these 34 armored guys, like my gun's doing way more damage than any primary I've ever had, and the guns are still, like, it takes 2-3 clips to drop one guy. As you can see here, the 2 set bonus for blind is pulse critical hit damage, which, since they nerfed the crit chance on the big crit chance gun, I think right now most all of us have like a solid 1 in 5 bullets is a crit, which is nice. You add on pulse, that's 40%, which is already 2/3 of the 60% cap. And that's with me and my 12,000 skill power. Those guys who are running the tactician set or have closer to like 20,000 skill power just based on their build, those guys I think have closer to 50% crit chance. I mean, that's really, really good. I do like the assault rifles have, what is it, armor damage? Yeah, enemy armor damage means if they've got like those little colored bars above their gear, you're doing an automatic 30% damage extra. I prefer damage to elites because those are all yellowed enemies, so pretty much most of those guys with armor also take more damage. But I think the second the armor goes away, the armor damage doesn't count anymore. But if you've noticed, most of the time when you get a guy's armor gone, they just melt. Like, they don't really have much HP, kind of like us. If you take away our armor reduction, like mine's still sitting at 75%, I am a little upset because I kept getting so much more powerful gear. I switched out 2 of my nomad pieces. That's final measure. That's final measure. Keep final measure. It is still broken. It is helpful as heck. Guys with grenades, I have been fighting some flamethrower guys that even with 64% exotic damage resilience, these guys are still melting you in 5 seconds or so. So it's either the second you get toasty, you need to dodge and run or not. I'm not a big fan of using extra gear or going into your menu. Let's see. Going into your menu, grabbing one of these, using it, and then fighting. Most of the time, these usually last like 10 seconds. Which, incendiary bullets, okay, the fire crest thing makes incendiary bullets actually useful. Of all of them, is the only useful one. aside from that, I'm doing the normal one to show you guys what normal is. Again, if you've done the Dark Zone at all, pretty much whatever build you use for team play or solo play in the Dark Zone works phenomenally well here. I haven't unlocked Heroic, but I've heard that Heroic's enemies are level 35.
Warning. Incoming hostiles.
And I don't know if it's worth using it then. I mean, again, on normal, I'm fighting, like... What? Okay, what's... Oh, this guy. Hello, dude. Alright. Yeah, I mean, I'm going from 30 to 31s. And the 31s are purples with armor. No offense, I don't think any of us really find purples challenging at the moment. But I think honestly normal is for those folks who haven't really done Dark Zone, haven't really done much of anything on their own. But as you can see, I'm soloing this. Yeah, my gear level is, I think, somewhere around like 230 now. And that is all because of... Okay, where are these folks? Fog of War... I know I enjoy having my mini-map. You notice it's been missing there. But at the same time, it's not that big an issue to miss. If you're using the headshots mark a guy thing and you're running Pulse, Pulse lights up the location of everybody without a mini-map. So it's not that big an issue. If you're going to use Fog of War often, I would recommend do it with matchmaking or bring a group of your friends.
Heavily armored hostile approaching.
And particularly bring at least you and one other friend with Pulse. Like, if you're in a group, at least 2 of you need to be using Pulse. That way, like you can see, I can see everybody. Fog of War isn't really a factor anymore. Of course it's a handicap. I am still working towards getting level 20 in this, just because I really want to get the G36 that they're selling. It's got, I think, armor breaking, and if you've got both your skills not on cooldown. Oh look, I got another achievement! Each of the 6 different mission objectives. Oh, apparently I hadn't done that one yet. This one was just kill the boss. I haven't just killed the boss yet. Wow, on the maps, most of them, you really only face, it looks like 2 or 3 different kinds of map. Whoa, what is that? 700 and... Not as accurate, a lot more stability, but I think that's because of its perk. Critical hit damage is increased. What I have is crits give me health. No skills on cooldown. Gives you 13% damage, which if you pulse or if you heal a lot, focused isn't the best perk in the world. Again, if you're running the tacticians group, then you probably don't have that issue. I don't like the SRS. Black Market AK, this doesn't do as much damage as what I'm using. The G36, like when I got this gun, it was like 91,000 DPS. That's ridiculous for an automatic. As you guys see, it's got 750 rounds a minute, and the stability is ridiculous. Okay, where's this gun it said I got? And now all I got was gloves. Okay. That's weird. A lot of us that I've played with have noticed this. It is kind of a pain in the butt. The maps are like the same 5 or 6 maps. The overall layouts tend to change a little bit, but not by a whole heck of a lot. It's like they promised us like 2 or 3 different 100 iterations, but overall the thing is It is like making your own low-level incursion for normal and up to challenging. It's really going in the dark zone. Except you don't have any of these trolls, you don't have these jerks hunting you, you don't have people stealing your gear. You don't have those issues, and I really like it. If you just wanted to go into the dark zone to get one or two okay pieces of gear, one or two like challenging fights where you need to feel like you're either doing really well or you've got 2 or 3 friends along for the ride. That is this. This is Dark Zone without rogues. You won't get as many pieces of gear because the only time you get pieces of gear is from the 1 or 2 named enemies in the mission you're doing and that chest at the end. Which, in total, I mean, you saw, I want this gun. Like, this is my gun, but with faster reloading and more headshot damage. Like, it looks like Focused comes on all G36s. There is a... Where'd it go? There is a G36 blueprint you can buy at level 20. So, if you are... But, as you can see, it gives Focused. Like, regardless of what gun you're doing, it has Focused. If I'm going to use one of these new sets, it'll probably be this blind set. I mean, again, I'm not really... I still prefer my health on kill. But on challenging, it's really looking like health on kill's not going to be as viable. But yeah, so this is... Let's plan an op. Let's do hard. I'm going to take off Fog of War just because I don't like it as much. It does give you bonuses, but I honestly could care less. Like, I'm looking forward to doing mad skills. I'm expecting 1 or 2 people constantly healing, 1 or 2 people constantly pulsing. Waste Not, Want Not. That's going to be a really easy one to get around. Just wait until you're out of ammo and reload. If you're at the end of a big fight in a room, yeah, you may be tempted to reload, but this is honestly just pay attention to your ammo before you press that X button. Like, for those of us who are used to playing RPGs or FPSs or both, you are used to reload as often as you can. Like, make sure you have that full clip so that when you have that big guy come up out of nowhere, you can just... Oh, look, I don't have to worry about reloading. Maybe he took a full clip of ammo on the dot. I can see Special Forces getting people to realize just how OP some of these special ammunition types are. Sickness, I don't see people doing challenging or heroic with Sickness. There is no reliable way to heal anymore. I don't see it being fun. Let's see. Let's go do at least 1 or 2 rounds, not rounds, but 1 or 2 waves of baddies in this to see, to just show you, like, honestly, it's like they took the difficulties of pre and post patch 1.2 and put those enemy levels into Underground. Like you just saw, I was fighting 30s and 31s, reds and purples. Those were DZ 1 and 2 before the patch. Hard is pretty much 32s and 33s, purples and yellows. That was really...
Let me lay it out for you. Intel says the LMB's in the tunnels trying to hit all the gear.
And they do give you like these little stories, but honestly it's go in, kill people, there might be an objective, there might not be. Like here I'm defending like some older power structures that Rhodes has set up, which is really cool. Eliminate the hostiles. This is the... shoot those because if you walk near them or set them off... Ah. For some reason, it switched my primaries, and I like... Whoop. But see, a 32 purple. Again, if you're gonna go for SMGs, crit damage is nice, but hopefully you've got a really good crit build. Like, again, my base with just gloves and I think one piece of armor on is giving me like 21% crit rate, which is great. I mean, 1 in 5 bullets. Most of the SMGs have 50 to 60 rounds in a clip with 100%. That's really good. It's really great. The big issue I'm seeing is that people that were used to having a 40 base, like low tactician builds, you've got the 10 to 13, 14,000. We're getting hurt by that nerf. Like, most people were able to run 40 to 50, maybe 60% crit before the pulse. After the pulse, you were hitting 50 to 60% solid. Like, you didn't... The tactician builds, you really didn't need anything else. You could just run pulse. You didn't really need an SMG. Now, most every gun is running... Whoa. Oh, crap. It's heavy here. Dang. Oh my gosh, what just hit me? Oh, shotgunner? Seriously? Alright, that actually works well, because if you lose, like if you have a full team wipe, it says it's running you to the last checkpoint, but the underground levels don't have checkpoints, so it's a really, like, it lies to you kind of thing. It actually sends you back to the base. You have to start over. I'm not a big fan of that. I don't think many of us are. But this is what happens. It sends you right back to base. Shotgunners are still a pain in the butt. But again, you saw, as long as you're paying attention, maybe you don't have Fog of War like I did going, you would know those shotgunners are there. You're not as big in trouble. But it's really normal and hard. You can do solo. Maybe taking, like me, if I take my wife, I will probably go hard, just because with 2 people, it's child's play. The normal will be to get used to this is how things work. This is how it works. I do really like the way they have it set up. It's got its own Dark Zone vendor. It's got a really good gun to start off. Now, this gun's enemy armor damage is kinda lame. I mean, the one I just picked up has a little more base damage. That 1% enemy armor damage is like, for me, 10,000. 20% of that, I'm doing another 2,000 to armor. That's nice. That is great. The first gun I picked up was one of these pistols that does like 12,000 damage. It's ridiculously OP. You can do normal just using this pistol. I ran hard using just my pistol. You get 30 bullets in it, you get maybe some fire rate. I mean, it's totally broken. It fires as fast as I can pull the trigger, so it's like a little machine pistol. For those of us still waiting for like 3-round burst pistols, this one's about as close as you can get right now. Other than that, we will be posting the Patreon. Please support Extra Life, support the kids. If you want to support the kids and me, I am totally not gonna say no. But so yes, Patreon, Extra Life. Go check out some of the videos of my friend Jarrell and his buddies over at Underachiever Studios. We will all be gaming for Extra Life. We are all on the same team. So if you like one of them or both of them better than me and you still wanted to donate to Extra Life, donate to them, donate to me. It doesn't matter. Just donate to the kids. With that, I think lights out.